Good morning, everybody. About 10 months ago, I put a video out where I was starting a LS swap into my Jeep YJ. It's an 88 model. And I built a 4.7 stroker and decided to pull it out and put an LS engine in it. I'd purchased everything out of a 2008 Chevrolet Silverado. And now I have rebuilt all of that and I've got it installed into the Jeep. And well, I'll just give you a little bit of you can kind of see the engine itself in the engine bay. And I appreciate everybody that puts videos out with tidbits of information on the install and all their hard work that they do. There's a lot of guys that's done a lot of really good work. And if you watch them, they can save you a lot of time. The one thing that I didn't see was my shift linkage. My Jeep is a column shift. My Jeep, it has a column shifter. I wanted to keep all of the inside exactly the same, and then it has the old floor shifter down there. With the 2 high, 4 high, neutral, and 4 low. And I wanted to keep the inside of the Jeep in the stock configuration because I think it's a good looking Jeep. It's an 88 model. It had 66,000 original miles on it. And I just thought it would be a good vehicle. Well, what I've done is I looked, Locar and several other people and places, they make shifter linkages and mostly are cable drive. And I didn't really like that cable drive, and I'm going to try to get in here where you can see. But what I chose to do was keep my standard. I have to look down from the top and get over here. Well, I'm struggling here. Okay, let's see. All right, right there is where your original shifter linkage goes into the steering column itself, and that is the original mount and the original rod. And what I did is I took that rod and modified it, and I put a rod end on it, and then I made me a bracket down there, as you can see, to take it and shift it 90 degrees to where it would push the transmission shifter. Well, when you get down under the Jeep to the transmission, I had trouble with this because there's not a lot of information, there's not a lot of videos, and I'm not going to show you how I made it, but that portion of the linkage right there I purchased. Locar's linkage is very expensive. I'm not saying that it's not worth it, I'm just saying that it's very expensive. I did find an alternative from Classic Industries. And this was their kit. It came with everything that you see here, and there's the part number. And what it does, it allows you an infinite adjustment right here. You install this bushing on the shaft coming out of your transmission, and then it's splined on the outside and allows you to take the aluminum piece off and change directions wherever you need to locate it and then lock it down. And then you've got a stainless steel shaft and rod ends to where you can set that length that you need. And that whole kit is only $39. And that made that work out super good, super clean, and it works. I'm having trouble, but it works really well, and nothing gets in the way. The only other issue you have is the bracket that I made. Well, let me get back under here where it goes to the bell housing. And I gotta pull my I apologize for doing this with my cell phone. But I made this little bracket. It's just a little piece of 1/4 inch by 1/2 inch angle iron. And I had to cut the back out to where I could bolt it to the bell housing. And I come off of it with a little 1/2 inch axle. And then I used a piece of 7/8 rod and drilled it out. And I've got 2 5/8 bronze bushings in each end, so I don't have to put grease in it. And I didn't want the grease collecting dirt and causing it to lock up. And then I just put a retaining cap and a bolt on the end. And I used, though, that is portions of the original shifting linkage that I just cut the ends off of and modified to fit this. But that, with all that said, this adjustment right here in this slot allows me to shift it from the column and then get my shifter linkage length to where it moves the correct length, because what you have is your transmission here has about 55 degrees of movement and around the radius, and your column up there has about 60s. And no matter if you make all of the linkages the same length, it does not work out for you. So you have to compensate for the different lengths in where the column rotates and then where the shaft rotates. So when you get up here and you want to pull it, as you can see, I pull it out. That's in reverse. I have neutral, drive. The only problem is the 4L60E's got 3 speeds, so you've got an extra position right there that you have to go to. So, but I just wanted to give you that little tidbit. Don't be afraid to make your own linkage. Don't be afraid to make your own linkage, because it's really not as difficult as it looks. All you're doing is taking one rod, shifting in a downward motion from a radius, and you're changing that 90 degrees in 2 directions, and then you're changing it where it will rotate down on one side and push back on the other. And it's very easy. It took me just a little bit of time to work on that linkage on the transmission itself, to set that length to where it would shift every gear. So I didn't see a lot of information about this where people put on YouTube. I watch a lot of videos, and I appreciate it, because most of the work I've done on this is I've got lots and lots of information for this build on that. So hope that helps.